Kentucky next year. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Susan Gesselbrock, a Norwood High School alumna, a trustee of the Norwood Scholarship Foundation, and a former member of the Norwood Board of Education. Susan Gesselbrock.
Thank you, Mr. Winrod. Good morning. It's always a pleasure for me to be here representing the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation. It's an honor for me to welcome you this morning as we celebrate the Norwood High School class of 2015. Wow. This morning we recognize those seniors who have excelled academically at Norwood High and who will continue their education this fall at a college or university. The Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation was the vision of one woman, Miss Charlotte Kem. Ms. Kem served this district and this high school for over 40 years as a teacher and later as Dean of Girls. She was a straightforward, no-nonsense, big woman with a big heart and a great big sense of humor, and she was revered by all. Her dedication to the students of Norwood High School was never questioned. Having never married and with no children of her own, Ms. Kem chose to leave her entire life savings, her entire teacher's retirement, to benefit the students of Norwood High School. In August of 1962, Ms. Kem wrote a letter to the high school principal, Mr. Albert Gesselbrock, in which she stated the following: I have signed a new will. My entire teacher's retirement will be payable to begin a scholarship foundation for the students of Norwood High School. To carry out her wishes, the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation was organized on September 11, 1962, and incorporated in the state of Ohio under the provision of the Ohio Revised Code as a nonprofit organization. The foundation is governed by a board of trustees that is empowered to accept, receive, invest, and reinvest all contributions, and to determine from criteria established in our bylaws the recipients of the scholarships awarded yearly to graduating seniors. Current trustees are Ms. Brenda King, Ms. Eileen Paris, Ms. Sharon Freihoff, Mr. David Norcross, Ms. Doris Riddle, Mr. Don Deans, Ms. Phyllis Bolden, Mr. Mike Mayfield, Mr. Mark Gabbard, Ms. Angela Barber, Ms. Betty Green, and Mr. Tom Shepard. The Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation has come a long way since its inception 53 years ago. Today, I am so proud to say we will award over $150,000 in scholarships. The growth of our fund is a result of the many efforts of many former students of Norwood who are inspired to provide for the school that once served them. Civic organizations, corporations, family, and friends of Norwood City Schools are most charitable with their donations, and we thank them for their gifts. I would encourage everyone here today to really listen to the words of the presenters. Listen to their comments about the scholarships they represent. They are stories about people from Norwood, people who are our friends, our neighbors, people who wanted to be remembered, and who felt compelled to give something back to their community and to invest in your future. To the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, and I also want to welcome the 7th and 8th grade junior honor society with us today. These scholarships will be available for you in your senior year. If you want to further your education, the Scholarship Foundation certainly wants to assist you. We hope you will use the funds to fulfill your dreams. To the class of 2015, never forget that Norwood High School has provided you lessons and memories and friendships that will last a lifetime. As you prepare to graduate, remember that the education you take with you will serve as a strong foundation for the coming years. On behalf of the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation, I congratulate the class of 2015 and wish you well on your journey. I don't know why I'm feeling so choked up today. I'm honored to present for my family the Gesselbrock Scholarship. It's in memory of my late father, my mother, and my sister-in-law. And like many of you, my parents, my grandfather, my aunts and uncles, my brother, nieces and nephews were all raised in Norwood. All went to Norwood High School. My dad went to Norwood View, my mom went to Sharpsburg. They met in this building in 1932 when they were students here, and they married 10 years later, and they chose to live here and raise their family here. After college and serving time in the Navy, my dad came to work at Norwood High School as a teacher and later served as principal for 20 years. My mom was a professional volunteer for the PTA, Athletic Boosters, Alumni Association, and was president of the Scholarship Foundation for several years. My sister-in-law, Doris, grew up in Kentucky, but adopted Norwood as her hometown. She too was very involved with many opportunities when her children were students here, so much so that people came to believe she was a Norwood graduate. I'm very proud to present the Gesselbrock Family Scholarship to Aaron Ballou. Aaron plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in music education. Present the Farmer Family Memorial Scholarship. Eileen O'Dowd Farmer and Pharrell Farmer and Robert Doyle Farmer. They were all students at Norwood High School. Farrell was a 1946 graduate of Norwood. He was a generous and caring man and became a valuable trustee for the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation. He was quick-witted and very interested in helping the class of 1946 and his own family in establishing scholarships by donating large sums of monies on numerous occasions. He died in 2005 at the age of 76. The Farmer Family Memorial Scholarship recipient is Humberto Valdez Flores. Humberto plans to attend Cincinnati State and major in laser engineering. Now I'm presenting the Mary Nell Griffin Memorial Scholarship. Ms. Griffin was a founding member of the High School Scholarship Foundation. Her long, rich, productive life included 38 years at Norwood High School, where she taught physical education. She was a student counselor. She was dean of girls and assistant principal. In 1995, she was enshrined into the Norwood High School Hall of Fame, honoring her contribution to the community and to women's sports. The Mary Nell Griffin Memorial Scholarship recipient is Jesslyn Neely. Jesslyn not here today? Oh, that's a shame. She's going to the Christ College of Nursing and Health Sciences. So, next presenter is Mr. Rathner. Thank you.
I have 3 scholarships I will be presenting this morning. The first is the Harold Bates Carl Albrecht Memorial Scholarship. Mr. Harold Bates was principal and superintendent from 1934 to 1956. He started co-op programs and night school programs, encouraging Norwood citizens to broaden their education. Carl Albrecht was principal of Williams Avenue School and Norwood High School. In 1956, he became superintendent. He was known as a man of a strong character, gentleness, kindness, and friendly personality. The Harold Bates and Carl Albrecht Memorial Scholarship recipient is Corey Roker. Corey plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in accounting. The next scholarship is the Ross Dunn Memorial Scholarship. Ross Dunn taught at Norwood High School and served as head of the Social Sciences Department for many years. He and his wife helped many Norwood students obtain a college education. Upon his death, he left a trust fund with the interest to be awarded as a yearly scholarship. The Ross Dunn Memorial Scholarship recipient is Caleb Bennett. Caleb plans to attend UC Blue Ash, majoring in veterinary technology. The next scholarship is the Harold Funk Memorial Scholarship. Harold Funk, as a resident of Norwood, served on Norwood's Board of Education for 36 years and as a trustee of the foundation. Harold Funk was generous with his time and money and for the students of the Norwood City Schools. The Harold Funk Memorial Scholarship recipient is Tyler Schroeder. Tyler plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in accounting. Now it's my pleasure to introduce John Shepard, the president of the Shepard Chemical Company.
Good morning. The Shepard Chemical Company was, my grandfather started the Shepard Chemical Company in Norwood 99 years ago in 1916. We have a little momentum, we'll make it to 100 next year. We're pleased and proud to be in Norwood. My grandparents, on both sides, my mother's parents and my father's parents, lived on Hudson Avenue. My mom and dad met as neighbors. They both graduated from Norwood High School. And I do not live in Norwood, but I have a fondness for Norwood because of that. We, at the chemical company, we're in our 4th generation. We hope to get to 5. The Shepherd Chemical Company Scholarship recipient is Caroline Moyers. Caroline plans to attend the University of Cincinnati, majoring in chemistry. Chemistry is a great choice, Caroline. I also will present the May Davenport Memorial Scholarship. May Davenport was a graduate of Norwood High School, class of 1927. She lived to the age of 102, and as I've told other classes in years before, she attributes her longevity to showing up for class at high school and doing her homework. The May Davenport Memorial Scholarship recipient is Allison Rutherford. Allison plans to attend Xavier University, majoring in natural sciences. Presenting the next scholarship is alumnus Matt Lamping, son-in-law of Bob Lawhorn.
Good morning. On behalf of the friends and family of Bob Lawhorn, I would like to thank the administration, the faculty, and others at Norwood High School for allowing me to present this award. It's always an honor to be here. My name is Matt Lamping, and I'm a graduate of Norwood High School, class of 1993, and I'm here today to present the William Robert Lawhorn Memorial Scholarship to a student in the 2015 graduating class. Before I announce the winner, I always like to share a little background regarding this award and the man behind it so that you have a better understanding of why and how this scholarship was established. Bob Lawhorn was also a graduate of Norwood High School, class of 1968, and after his graduation, and along with a friend, Bob enlisted in the United States Armed Forces, and after his service was complete, he returned home to Norwood, and shortly thereafter, he married and had 2 children. It was during this time that Bob and a business partner took a great risk in starting up their own company. The company they started, the General Revenue Corporation, grew into a multinational, very successful financial services company that is still a thriving company in the greater Cincinnati area today. Bob was a man that did not let life's disappointments and obstacles keep him from achieving his goals. Sadly, and shortly after he retired, Bob succumbed to a rapidly spreading cancer in April of 2005. Bob was very active in his church and in his community. He and his wife, Luann, were one of the founding families of the Westchester Community Foundation. They generously donated time and resources to establish an organization that presently provides outreach services to those in need. Bob was a true believer in remembering your roots and giving back to help others in the community. After his death in 2005, his friends and family, in partnership with the Westchester Community Foundation, established the William R. Lawhorn Scholarship. Money was raised for the scholarship through donations and annual golf outing events tirelessly organized by volunteers. And because Bob always loved his hometown of Norwood, we thought it fitting that the recipients should always be graduates of Norwood High School who have a desire to attend the University of Cincinnati. The scholarship is awarded annually to a student who has displayed the same characteristics that Bob also found valuable: perseverance, motivation, kindness, leadership, community service, as well as academics. This award provides a student with the opportunity to attend the University of Cincinnati 4 years, tuition-free. Family and friends take great comfort in the fact that Bob's spirit will continue to live on in the hearts and minds of the winners as they begin a new journey for themselves. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to announce the 2015 winner of the William R. Longhorn Memorial Scholarship, Miss Ashley Couch. Ashley will be attending the University of Cincinnati in the fall, majoring in criminal justice. She has displayed remarkable perseverance throughout her young life. And to quote one of her current teachers, "When you think of Norwood and the image that that school would want to portray, it is hard not to picture Ashley as that image. The energy she has demonstrated in school and in activities has been incredible." Congratulations. Sorry about that. Presenting the next scholarship is Leanne Greenberg, alumna and daughter of Kenneth Linder.
Leanne Linder Greenberg, graduate 75. My dad was graduate 1950. My brother was graduate 1973. My dad served on the Board of Education. My dad was actually born in the back bedroom of a house on Hunter Avenue. He bled Norwood. And my dad, he was my dad. He wasn't just Kenneth C. Linder. He was my dad. He was on this stage. He sang in chorus on this stage. When he graduated in 1950, one of the special things you need to know about Norwood is a lot of schools have what they call signing day for the athletes because they get these athletic scholarships. But Norwood has a scholarship day. A day when, yes, the athletes get theirs. Please don't. I don't mean it against them. But also the kids who work hard with their grades get recognized in front of everybody. With over, what did you say, $150,000 in scholarships? How many scholarships we're giving out now? And there are other scholarships that are available too that don't come through this. When my dad graduated, there were 3. And he got 2 of them. At the time, a lot of kids didn't go to college. It wasn't affordable. It wasn't, the Korean conflict was going on. We're talking the 1950s. But now you have that opportunity. Take those opportunities. If you go to college, if you go to any kind of continuing education after high school, no matter what it is, and it doesn't matter if that is what you're going to be the rest of your life. My dad's degree was history pre-law. He ended up being the vice president of a small loan company and a tax preparer. It didn't matter what he studied, the fact that he did study, the fact that he wanted to go on, and he wanted to learn more about the world and more than what he learned in high school. Learning in high school is good, that's your basis, but go on and continue learning. When I was a kid, I remember telling my dad, "Gosh, you are the smartest man in the world. How did you get to be that way?" And he said, "I'm not really that smart, I just read a lot." He was always learning, and that's what I want you to continue to do. Because that's what you learn when you're in high school, that you need to keep learning. Please keep doing that so that you can come back someday and stand up here like me and shake and try not to cry as you remember the things my parents did, the things that I did, the things that my brother did, the things that my classmates did. It meant so much to me when I was in high school. And then when my father died, my mother said, we need to set up a scholarship. My father died in 1998 after a 16-month battle with cancer. And one of the first things my mother said was, we need to set up a scholarship in his name. We need to continue. And so the Kenneth C. Linder Memorial Scholarship goes to someone that I know. It goes to Amira Bauer Hutzel. Is planning on attending Salem College and majoring in political science. Amira was in school with my son at Williams Avenue. Amira is the daughter of my husband, who taught at Norwood High School. Not his daughter, one of his students. She is the daughter of one of my husband's students. There's just constant connections, and you're going to find those through your life. There's constant Norwood connections, and they're good. So congratulations to Amira. Introduce Clark Eads.
Matt left, did he? Shucks, he was 1993 grad. I graduated in 1962. I wanted to see him to see what he's got to look forward to. 31 years. First, I would like to announce the recipient of our Norwood City Schools Alumni Association Scholarship. 2 weeks ago, May 6th, we had a luncheon, our annual luncheon. It used to be called the Old Grads Luncheon. We don't have any old grads anymore, so now we call it the All Grads Luncheon. But we presented our scholarship to Caroline Moyers. Caroline attended our luncheon, and she was lucky enough to meet over 100 of us alumni. First scholarship I want to present is the George Bubby Cooper Scholarship. George Cooper was the poster child for courage. In February of his 7th grade year, he came down with a particularly fast-growing muscle cancer. He was in the hospital for quite a while, off and on, and stuff like that, as they had recurrences of it. I tell you, this kid was amazing, because we go over to visit him, and when we left the hospital, we were feeling upbeat. I mean, he just had that kind of contagiousness that made you feel good, even though he was dying. He just had a fantastic attitude about everything, and he just refused to let his illness get him down. When summer baseball came that year, he wanted to play baseball, but he had all these PICC lines in him where he was getting treatment. So he kind of begged the doctors to let him play. And they told him he could play as long as he wore a chest protector the whole time. Catcher's chest protector. He was a pitcher, but he had to wear the chest protector on the mound. He was the best pitcher in the league when he was in 7th grade, and he was still the best pitcher in the 8th grade wearing the chest protector. George passed away in December of his 8th grade year. But this scholarship will allow his memory to go on indefinitely. My son was the first recipient of the George Cooper Scholarship. This year's scholarship recipient is Allison West. Allison's going to be attending Northern Kentucky, majoring in cellular and molecular genetics. Can you already spell that? Second scholarship is the Jim Downs Scholarship. I've been presenting this the last couple of years. I couldn't make it, but since 1994, I've been presenting this one. And Jim was my best friend. He was a 1964 graduate. He participated in all the sports, football, basketball, baseball, active in all the clubs and everything like that. He went ahead and graduated from University of Cincinnati, majoring in business. Married his high school sweetheart, who's also a 1964 grad. My wife is a 1964 grad also. Dale Bucco back here is a 1964. I was around by me. What's going on with this? Bev and Jim had 2 fine sons. One is a Cincinnati area policeman, and his son Brad followed in his dad's footsteps and became a businessman. He lives in Columbus now. Jim contracted cancer in the spring of 1994, and he passed away just 5 months later. This scholarship is a testament to the many friends he had who created this scholarship in his name. This 2015 James A. Downs Scholarship goes to David Highlands. David's going to Northern Kentucky University, where he's going to major in pre-physical therapy. Next scholarship is the Sandy Woosty Hyman Scholarship. Sandy Hyman graduated from Norwood in 1961. While she was in high school, she started working part-time at United Dairy Farmers for one of the great Cincinnatians of all time, Carl Linder. And she progressed from there to working full-time at United Dairy Farmers, and then for American Financial Corporation. And she became one of the top female actually, heck with the female part, one of the top executives in the United States. She was eminently successful. And, our motto here for the Norwood City School Alumni Association is to give something back. We hope that all you guys eventually join the Alumni Association. We're in dire need of younger people. And we don't got enough old people, so we don't need any of those anymore, so we need some young people. And you will be eligible here in just a few days, really. Sandy exhibited her give something back attitude by making a very sizable donation to the Alumni Association, in which we award a scholarship, or we finance the scholarship that actually goes through the Scholarship Foundation because of the criteria. The criteria that she gives is it has to also go to a person from UC, like the Bob Lawler Scholarship. Ideally, it goes to a girl who's going to UC majoring in business, but since there was no girl going to UC majoring in business this year, it went to a boy going to UC majoring in business. This year's recipient is Hunter Marksberry. Hunter's going to go to UC Blue Ash, majoring in business and telecommunications. Next presenter is another Norwood alumnus, and her name is Joyce Hinkle Hall, sister of Roger Hinkle.
Good morning, Norwood High School. It is my pleasure and honor to be with you today to present the inaugural Roger Hinkle Memorial Scholarship. Norwood community lost one of its hometown heroes on March 26, 2014. Roger of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department passed away after a 3-year battle with cancer. He was a 1976 graduate who was all-league linebacker his senior year in the Hamilton County American League. He continued his football career at Western Kentucky University, where he was also president of the Sigma Nu fraternity. After his passing, a group of friends and his family banded together to create the Roger Hinkle Memorial Scholarship Fund to honor Roger. Also, and a special tribute to Roger this year, the Norwood Indians football team wore the RH33 Semper Fi sticker on their helmets. It was a great tribute to Roger and to the family. I wish to thank Andy Bolts and Roger's wife Sally Hinkle for spearheading the efforts of countless volunteers and supporters that have made this award possible. Events such as the annual Roger Hinkle Golf Outing, the raffle Split the Pot Night, and merchandise sales will allow the scholarship to be presented not only this year, but in the years to come. Why do we honor Roger in this way? It's a simple answer. He was a man worth honoring. Upon graduating from college, he entered the Marines Officer Training Program. He rose to the rank of captain and became a helicopter pilot. He flew a CH-53 transport helicopter that transported Marines and equipment. I think it's the biggest helicopter they had in the fleet. He flew that all over the world. Roger and Sally's children, Jake, Pat, and Kelly, came along during his military years and became part of his main reason he wanted to get back to Norwood, reconnect with his family and his friends. So when he retired from the Marines, he was fortunate and able to come back to Norwood, where he joined the aviation department of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. His humble nature would never allow him to tell you of the numerous awards he won throughout his 15-year career, that he rose to become head of the aviation department, or that he was named the 2013 Officer of the Year. Roger was as tough as they come. And as you can tell from his career, he was devoted to caring for and protecting not only those he loved, but also his friends, his community, and his country. When he was a kid, his favorite game was Army Man. His favorite song was He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. No matter how many times we tried to rescue G.I. Joe from the battlefield to be Barbie's boyfriend, it never happened. Roger would never allow that to happen. He always brought him back into battle. And those battles always ended up the same way. Roger and his comrades were victorious, taking down the bad guy. And that was always his life goal, get rid of that bad guy. Through all of his military deployments and years away from home, he always dreamed of coming back to Norwood. The Marines have a saying, it's Semper Fi. You probably all heard that. Semper Fi means always faithful. Roger was truly always faithful. You've all probably seen him over the years, at one time or another, flying that helicopter over the community he loved and watching out for all of you. And God willing, he still is. I don't know the recipient of this year's award personally, but I trust that they embody some of the same qualities Roger had. It would make Roger so happy to be able to invest in a life that would be committed to God, family, friends, community, and country. I hope you will remember who Roger was, and that his life will be an example for you of a life well lived, a life worth honoring. It's my great, great pleasure to award this scholarship, the Roger Memorial Scholarship, to this year's recipient, Peyton Williams. Peyton plans to attend the Mount St. Joseph University, majoring in special education. Presenting next is Eric Bryan, member of the American Legion. Thank you.
So our post scholarship wasn't created in remembrance of anyone, although there's a lot of people we get associated to. We created it a couple years back so that we could honor veterans in our community, continue to give back, and really to help deserving students achieve their goals. So on behalf of the Norwood American Legion, I'd like to congratulate our award recipient for their hard work and dedication here at Norwood High School, and to give thanks to all the sacrifices your family members made while serving honorably in our military. So this year's recipient of our post scholarship is Christian Evans. Christian plans to attend the University of Cincinnati, majoring in astrophysics. Presenting next is alumnus Rich Wilson of the Norwood Fire Department.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be presenting 2 scholarships today. These scholarships are in the name of 2 Norwood firefighters whose death occurred in the line of duty. They deserve to be remembered. They're remembered on the dugout at the girls' softball field. Their names are carved in stone in Colorado Springs at the Fallen Firefighters Memorial. They have bronze plaques that adorn the front of the Norwood Firehouse, and their memory is preserved each year through these scholarships. As a proud graduate of the class of 1989, it's my honor to present this year's Plogman and Condren scholarships. James Condren was appointed to the Norwood Fire Department on June 24th of 1957. He was one of the first paramedics certified in Hamilton County. And while serving the Norwood Fire Department as a paramedic, he was exposed to hepatitis C and became infected. He passed away on October 16th, 1984. This scholarship is in his honor. James Condren Memorial Scholarship for 2015, the recipient is Brooke Thomas. Brooke plans to attend Mount St. Joseph University, majoring in nursing. The Robert Plogman Memorial Scholarship. Robert Plogman lived in Norwood and graduated from Purcell High School. After a distinguished military career, he joined the Norwood Fire Department in 1971. He was killed in the line of duty at a fire in 1980, and family, friends, and colleagues established a scholarship in his memory. The Robert Plogman Memorial Scholarship recipient for 2015 is Maddie Schneider. Maddie plans to attend Eastern Michigan University, majoring in Communication and Media Arts. Presenting next will be Alice Scott of the Norwood Business and Professional Women's Club.
Good morning. The Norwood Business and Professional Women's Club was founded in 1934. The sole mission of the club has been, and always will be, to promote the interest in and provide services to our community. Through our volunteers, we help services support some of the city's charitable services, including the YMCA, Mount Zion's Church's Food Closet, and a variety of events here at the school. The Scholarship Foundation. Additionally, we provide food and care baskets at Thanksgiving and Christmas to needy families. We also organize and sponsor the Norwood Day at Coney, which is July 22nd, this year, and I hope that every one of you will attend. And more recently, we organize and support Christmas Town, which is December 5th this year. It is truly my privilege to present this year's Norwood Business and Professional Women's Club Scholarship to Megan Anderkin. Megan plans to attend the Ohio University, majoring in business management. The next scholarship is the Nora Overstreet Memorial Scholarship. Nora Overstreet was an active member of the Norwood Business and Professionals Women's Club for over 25 years. Born in Paducah, Kentucky, Miss Overstreet moved to Norwood in her early 20s and became active in the various organizations throughout our community. Upon her death in 1998, she bequeathed a large portion of her estate to the club's foundation fund. On behalf of the Norwood Professional Women's Club, it is my honor to present the Nora Overstreet Memorial Scholarship to Zulema Banderas Rodriguez. Zulema plans to attend the UC Blue Ash, but is undecided about her major at this time. Presenting the next scholarship is Brian Lammers, alumnus and friend of Brian Howell.
Good morning. I have two scholarships to present this morning. The first one is the class of 1946 Memorial Scholarship. Members of the class of 1946 continue to reunite on a regular basis and contribute their time and efforts supporting the Scholarship Foundation and graduating seniors. A scholarship was set up by the class of 1946 to honor their efforts and memory. This year's class of 1946 scholarship recipient is Arthur Hutchinson. Plans to attend Xavier University, majoring in biology. The next scholarship I have, to present this morning is Brian Howell Memorial Scholarship. Brian Howell was my lifelong best friend. We met in kindergarten at Sharpsburg and graduated together here in Norwood, remaining friends the entire time. Brian was honest and caring and a friendly person, and he knew how to have fun like no one I've ever met. While a student here in Norwood, Brian excelled in academics, was an honor society member, was active in various musicals, and a member of the Silhouettes. At the age of 27, Brian was diagnosed with colon cancer, and a year later, passed away. The death of someone so young always seems tough, but his hit particularly hard if you knew him and experienced his energy and zest for life. After his passing, Brian's family and friends felt something needed to be done in his name to carry on his wonderful spirit, so we established this scholarship. For over 10 years, I've been awarding this scholarship in honor of Brian, and I consider it a privilege to be here and do it for him, and also to meet these outstanding graduating seniors. And every so often, a senior comes along that makes this award even more special to me. A person who not only reminds me of my friend Brian, but also someone I know personally and have been able to witness their accomplishments. So whether she's rising to the challenges in the classroom, to the thrill of homecoming queen, to the excitement and competition on the volleyball team, or to the joys of performing on stage in musicals and with the Silhouettes, this special young woman always gives it her best. Personally, I found watching her performance on this stage done with such talent that I often forget I'm watching a high school student and I'm just lost in the characters that she is playing. Her commitment to excellence, her genuine personality, and her sense of humor, certainly her sense of humor, have already taken her to great heights in academics, athletics, and the performing arts. And as her friend, I'm truly excited to see what she will do next. And I'm absolutely thrilled to award this year's Brian Howell Memorial Scholarship to Maddie Schneider. The next to present are alumni David Bugo and Dale Bugo Pryor.
Good morning, especially to parents, faculty, friends, and the class of 2015. My name is Dave Bugo, and I'm a member of the class of 1981. I'm here today with my sister Dale, who's a member of the class of 1964. And this is a special year because this is the first time Dale's been able to attend the ceremony. We're here today representing the entire Bucco family as we present the Mary Bucco Memorial Scholarship. This is the 27th year of this award, and we are once again pleased to be able to help another Norwood graduate pay for college. This is a special way for our family to be able to honor our mother. We know she would be proud. She truly loved Norwood and the Norwood City Schools. This year's Mary Bucco Scholarship goes to, where is it? There it is. Hunter Marksberry. Hunter plans to attend UC Blue Ash majoring in business and telecommunications. The next Norwood High School scholarship is Miss Rebecca Salyers.
Okay, I'm not gonna cry. Class of 2015, as you sit here today with your whole life ahead of you, and the opportunity to leave your mark on this world and possibly a legacy to live well beyond your years, is a time of celebration. Most of you have sat through this assembly for 3 years and watched me cry. Already, you may not have realized that although you'll hear many sad stories today, this is also a day of celebration. Many of us are on stage to celebrate the lives and legacies of family members, friends, former students, and former co-workers. A large number of you will be fortunate today and use scholarship money to pursue your legacy. But just remember, many of these scholarships came at the cost of a loved one. So listen to these stories. Remember, life is short, but no matter how short it sometimes is, everyone can leave their mark on the world. Each year, when I sit down and prepare this for the ceremony, I look for a quote to fit the occasion. But I'm always drawn back to a quote from the legendary Major League Baseball player Jackie Robinson. He said, "Life is not important except in the impact it has on others' lives." I challenge each of you today to seek a legacy that positively impacts the people you encounter in your life. With that being said, I'm here to present a scholarship in honor of former Norwood Middle School student and cheerleader, Danielle Franklin. This coming October will mark the 10th year anniversary of the tragic death of Danielle. Although she left this world at the mere age of 13, the impact she had on many people during her brief life was remarkable. If any of you were able to attend her funeral that year, the impact she had became very apparent when hundreds of people filled the middle school field house to celebrate her life. Last week, I was once again reminded of her influence on others when I saw many posts on Facebook recognizing what would be her 23rd birthday. Like many of you being recognized today, Danielle was a conscientious student, possessed an optimistic attitude, consistently worked hard at every practice, loved her school, and was a positive leader among her peers. Through the efforts of many individuals, especially the class of 2010, which would have been her class, a scholarship has been established in her name, ensuring her memory live on. Once again, I have the privilege to present the scholarship in her honor. I am privileged to be presenting the 7th Annual Danielle Franklin Memorial Scholarship to another cheerleader who is the epitome of the characteristics Danielle possessed. She's a diligent student, a leader among her peers, and has participated in many activities in addition to cheerleading as a Norwood Indian, including silhouettes, softball, academic team, and on top of this has a job at Igo Macy's. She is well deserving of this honor not only as a student or cheerleader, but as an individual with tremendous character. I'm sure Danielle is looking down proudly today and smiling over the individuals selected to receive this honor today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get one direction to come present it to her, but Danielle Franklin's scholarship goes to Tracy Borderman. Alumna and daughter of Julian Pigoli.
I am absolutely honored to be standing before you all for the 2nd year in a row in the school where I achieved my education and graduated from. This is a bittersweet day for me, as I'm sure you know. I lost my mom, Julianne, to cancer just last year on January 31st at the young age of 54. 1 year later, I stand here again to honor her, and today is definitely no easier than it was last year. Luckily, I have her watching over me, making me fight through the sadness and make today an amazing day, just like she was and just like she would want it to be. She spent her life helping others with the power to fight, and love as her motivation. My mom was born and raised in Norwood and graduated in 1977, which was the largest class ever to graduate from here. With the support of so many people, I am able to be standing here today to present a scholarship in my mother's name to keep her memory alive. This allows her to continue to help others indefinitely from up in heaven, something she found heartfelt satisfaction in her entire life. Her memory will live on through your future as you dream big and shoot for the stars. You can rest assured that my mother will be watching over you each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Her motivation, dedication, strength, and determination were toxic to others. She had a deep passion to help others become amazing, and I couldn't be more proud to call her my mom. The recipient of this scholarship is most deserving, motivated, dedicated, devoted, and most importantly, possesses a strong fight to achieve her goals. I am honored to present the Julianne Pagoli Memorial Scholarship to Allison West. Allison plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in cellular and molecular genetics. Presenting next is alumnus and Norwood Middle School teacher and trustee Mike Mayfield.
Good morning. I will have 4 scholarships today. First is the Richard A. Gephardt Memorial Scholarship. Richard was a 1946 graduate of Norwood High School. In a charitable trust, he left a sizable amount of money to the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation, Children's Hospital, and Denison University. Mr. Gephardt died in 2012 at the age of 85. It is with Mr. Gephardt's donations that many high school students will be able to attend college. The Richard A. Gephardt Memorial Scholarship recipient is Lily Michelle Murray. The next one is the Right Path Credit Union Scholarship. Right Path Credit Union is a non-for-profit financial cooperative owned by members and dedicated to the philosophy of helping people achieve their greater financial success for themselves and their families. Our vision is to be the best financial institution our members have ever experienced and the best place our employees have ever worked. There will be 2 of these scholarships. The first scholarship goes to Sahari Godinez. Sahari plans on attending Mount St. Joseph University and majoring in psychology. Our second scholarship winner this year is Patrick Moore. Patrick will be attending Northern Kentucky University, majoring in music education. Our next scholarship is the Tarter Family Memorial Scholarship. The Tarter family, like so many other families from the Appalachian region, moved to Norwood in the early 60s. Mr. and Mrs. Tarter weren't well-known politicians, they weren't store owners, they were simply average, workaday parents who were looking to provide a better future for their children. Their 2 children, Stephen and Melinda, both grew up in the Norwood City School System. They were proud to say they graduated from such an excellent school, and having lost both their parents at a young age, and then most recently, Linda, having lost her only sibling, wanted to ensure that the Tarter family name would leave some kind of legacy for the future generations of Norwood students. This scholarship is in honor of their family, their deep love of all types of music, and for their unforgettable teachers at Norwood who would forever change their lives for the better. The Tarter Family Memorial Scholarship is presented to Demario Reed. Reed will be attending the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash, majoring in nursing. Presenting next is Norwood High School teacher Robin Brewer.
Good morning. It is with honor that I present our first scholarship of three I have today on behalf of my aunt and uncle Frank and Geraldine Kurtz. Research shows that you're most influenced by the 7 people you spend the most time with. And I'm pleased to say that 4 of the 7 people I spent the most time with growing up were Norwood grads. They molded and shaped who I am today, and Frank and Geraldine Kurtz played a big part in that. Frank and Jerry both grew up in Norwood. They became sweethearts in the 4th grade and stayed that way through their lifetime. After graduation from Norwood High School, Frank went to serve in the armed forces. When his duty was done, Frank returned home and married his longtime sweetheart, Jerry. They resided initially here in Norwood on Ralston Avenue, where Frank and Jerry began to invest in the lives of Norwood students, athletes, and members of the YMCA clubs. Frank and Jerry often provided food, clothing, shelter, and financial assistance to students in need, and my father was one of them. Frank and Jerry would be proud to know that they are still investing in the lives of young people today. So it is with great pleasure I present the scholarship to Zulma Banderas Rodriguez. The next scholarship I have is the Rama Skimmer and Schulmeyer Foundation Scholarship. Rama Skinner Schulmeyer graduated in Norwood High School in 1952 and was a straight-A student. She and her husband Edgar live in Fort Worth, Texas, and have established the Schulmeyer Foundation to contribute to many worthy causes. Rama Skinner and the Schulmeyer Foundation Scholarship recipient is Tyler Boyajian. Tyler plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in accounting. The third scholarship I have today is the Norwood Teachers Association Scholarship. The Norwood Teachers Association knows firsthand how important education is to the future of our society. With that said, the Norwood Teachers Association is committed to helping students of Norwood High School advance their future. I am pleased to present this scholarship to this young man who sat in my class last year, 4th Bell. And halfway through the year, I adopted the slogan, "We all need to practice a little Peyton," and that was my vote for this seniors class slogan. I was defeated, but I felt it was true. I think if we all practice a little Peyton Williams, we'll all be a little better off. So it is my honor to present this scholarship to Peyton Williams. Peyton plans to attend the Mount St. Joe University, majoring in special education. Presenting next is Chuck Seibert, brother of Mike Seibert.
First of all, with me here today is my wife Gail and my brother Rick to help me present this. My brother Mike taught here at Norwood after graduating from the University of Cincinnati at an early age, and spent, I believe, over 30 years and retired about 5 or 6 years ago. He passed away about a year ago. Mike was a son, our brother, an uncle, and a friend. A man who humbled us by the lives he touched in a short lifetime. He dedicated his life to teaching in the classroom and on the volleyball court, doing everything he could for his students to succeed in life. We deeply miss him. We thank you for inviting us to present this scholarship in his name, and congratulations to all the scholarship winners this year. The Mike Seibert Memorial Scholarship recipient is Aaron Harry. Aaron plans to attend Boston University, majoring in business administration and minoring in coaching. The next presenter is Kathy Morris, brother of Brandon Morris.
Hi. Hello. My son Brandon graduated from Norwood High School. He was on the wrestling team and was homecoming king his senior year. He loved music and played guitar. Brandon never met a stranger. He met his very good friend Tony Easter here. Brandon's friends are the ones responsible for putting the scholarship in place after Brandon was murdered in 2006. Every year, they get together and remember Brandon at what is called Morris Fest. I went last year. It was so special. I am so very proud of my son, Brandon. Brandon's legacy will be to help someone go to college. It is an honor to award this scholarship in my son's name. I hope this helps you. I know it helps me. Thank you. This year's scholarship is being awarded to, Lily Mitchell Arthur. Presenting next is Beth Miller Robinson, alumnus and sister of Tim Miller.
Timothy Joseph Miller was my little brother. He graduated from Norwood High School in 1986, as did all of my siblings. We're all Norwood graduates. I have a class of 83. After high school, Tim pursued a teaching degree. He taught English, and he loved it. Tim's other passion was music. He loved music. He loved guitars. He was diagnosed with leukemia in 2006, and after fighting for several years, he passed away on December 1st, 2011. He showed spirit and determination in everything that he did and left a lasting impression on everyone he met. The scholarship was established in 2012 to memorialize him and to carry on the memory and meaning of his life. We are thrilled to death to be able to offer the scholarship today to a fellow musician and future teacher. The Timothy J. Miller Scholarship recipient is Aaron Ballou. Aaron plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in music education. And presenting next is alumnus Mark O'Keefe, uncle of Timothy.
It was a beautiful spring in 1979 when we celebrated my parents' oldest grandson, Timothy O'Keefe, who graduated from Norwood High School. we've had someone in the O'Keefe clan in Norwood schools for the last 80-some years. So we were pretty happy about Tim going to make it through school. He was going to get to go to Xavier University on a scholarship. 2 weeks later, my younger brother Patrick drowned in a canoeing accident. He was a 1971 graduate. As you can imagine, our family was pretty devastated by the whole experience. Tim inherited my brother Patrick's car, a stick shift, and Tim did not drive a stick. So I taught him. He was an incredibly talented, loving, wonderful human being, somebody that everybody loved. September of that year, he and his father, Dan, a 1958 graduate of Norwood High School and a Norwood police officer, decided to go to a Cincinnati Reds game September 11th, a Tuesday night. They're driving home after the game, up here on Marion Avenue, you probably know about it. And a drunk driver driving 60 miles an hour on a residential street with no headlights at 11:30 at night. Danny didn't see the car. Guy slammed right in the side of him. Danny was killed instantly. Tim was kept alive when they got there, found him still breathing. They took him to University Hospital, where I got to see him all intubated, tubed up. We had a funeral on Friday for my brother Danny, and Tim died on Friday, so we had a funeral on Monday for Tim. Now this was June to September. At Tim's funeral, we couldn't figure out where all the kids ran. Suddenly they all disappeared, you know, all his friends. We thought, where'd everybody go? And probably, within a half an hour, they all came back and lined up, one at a time, with their recent graduating tassels, and laid them in his casket. And he was buried with about 50 tassels from his school. So it's important to know who these people are, and that's why I said that. Now, I'm really very lucky to be able to award the Tim O'Keefe Memorial Scholarship to someone very special to me and to my brother. It's my great niece and his granddaughter, Kayla Bennett. For another family whom I know, the Hill Family Scholarship, and they provided this script, with gratitude for and an appreciation of the education afforded our family members by the Norwood City Schools. Dennis, class of 59, Carol Camp, class of 59, Alan, 66, David, 73, Brandon, 91, 91, and Aaron, 95. And in memory of Nellie and Irving Hill, whose own educations were interrupted by the Great Depression, but whose hard work and encouragement allowed their children and grandchildren to pursue higher education. The Hill Family Scholarship recipient is Tyler Buyagian. The next award will be presented by Tom Luncheon.
Al Salt was a graduate of Norwood High School and worked for WKRC TV station for many years. He worked as a production manager until he retired. After his retirement from WKRC TV, or Channel 12, he returned to his roots and helped out the TV studio located at Norwood High School that we all know as PACE TV. The Al Salt Memorial Scholarship recipient is Christian Peace. Christian plans to attend Northern Kentucky University, majoring in chemistry. Ted Doro graduated from Norwood High School in 1932, and his children also graduated from Norwood. He and Doro and Fern flourished in Norwood and served on the Norwood Board of Education from 1965 until 1981. Upon his death in 1982, friends and family established a scholarship in his memory. The Ted Doro Memorial Scholarship recipient is Arthur Hutchinson. Pengallo was a 1936 graduate and member of the state championship baseball team that year. He was awarded a football scholarship to UC. Mr. Pengallo served his country during World War II. After 20 years abroad, Mr. Pengallo returned to Norwood, where he was involved in a number of organizations, including the Kiwanis Club of Norwood. Mr. Pengallo was a firm believer in civic involvement and education. The Irvin Pengallo Memorial Scholarship recipient is Lily Michelle Arthur. My friend Teresa Romanella Backshatter was a 1977 graduate of Norwood High School. She is an Indianette and member of various organizations. After graduating from the University of Cincinnati, she came back to Norwood to teach in the high school from 1983 until 2001. After teaching for 18 years, she became a guidance counselor at Norwood High School and Norwood Middle School for 10 years. Students looked up to her because if they had a problem or just wanted to talk, her door was always open. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and her chances of survival were very slim. With determination and strength, she beat the odds and continued to work for more than 4 years. Teresa was a backshatter, was the type of person that if someone needed help, she would never look the other way, but would be a friend and provide that help. This scholarship was created in her honor and to promote her legacy as a Norwood Indian and to help create a helping hand for those in need. The Teresa Backshatter Community Service Scholarship recipient is Madison Mann. Madison plans to attend the University of Cincinnati, majoring in biochemistry. Presenting next is Norwood High School retired teacher and trustee Doris Riddle.
Good morning. I will be presenting 3 scholarships. The first is the Marilyn Whistler Memorial. Marilyn Whistler, known to her friends and students as Wiz, served Norwood students as a physical education teacher and a counselor for many years. When she died in 1978, she left her retirement assets to the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation to help students further their education. This year's recipient is Jessalyn Neely. Jessalyn plans to attend the Christ College of Nursing and Health Sciences to obtain her BSN. Next, the Peggy Buck Fryhoff Memorial Scholarship. Peggy Buck Fryhoff graduated from Norwood High School in January 1942. She and her husband Robert reared 3 children who also graduated from Norwood. After a massive stroke in 1982, Peggy exemplified courage, patience, and perseverance as she struggled daily for a fulfilled life until her death in 1991. This year's recipient is Allison Rutherford. The Mildred and Francis Hannaford Memorial Scholarship. Francis Hannaford graduated from Norwood High School in 1919 and later married Mildred Hale. Because of his love of Norwood, he chronicled the history of the city and the school district in a series of photographs. Many of those photographs now belong to the Alumni Association and the Norwood Public Library. At Mr. Hannaford's death in 1990, the Scholarship Foundation received a generous contribution from his estate. The recipient of this scholarship is Kristen Edwards. Presenting the next scholarship is Mark Gavin, alumnus, Williams Avenue Elementary Principal and Trustee.
Good morning. I have to reiterate some of these nice stories. They are emotional, but they are heartfelt. It's also good to remember, too, that $150,000, I said this last year, I'll keep saying it. I challenge any other high school in the southwest area of Ohio, Northern Kentucky, to try to even match that. It's truly amazing, the donations that have been made. Our first scholarship that I'm presenting here is the Hayden and Madeline Sizemore Memorial Scholarship. Hayden and Madeline Sizemore met in France during World War I. Afterwards, they became residents of Norwood, residing on Quatman Avenue. Hayden was a Justice of the Peace and a realtor in Norwood. He also was a member of the Norwood United Civic Association in the late 50s. They were very grateful to the Norwood schools for their niece came from France and learned English and American traditions during the year that she lived here, and she attended Norwood High School. The Sizemore Memorial Scholarship is a reflection of their appreciation and gratitude. The Hayden and Madeline Sizemore Memorial Scholarship recipient is Humberto Valdez-Flores. Humberto plans on planning Cincinnati State, majoring in leisure engineering. Paper clips falling. There's a lot of them falling here. It's not just me. Next is the Gary Charlton Memorial Scholarship. Gary Charlton graduated from Norwood High School in 1968, where he was voted as most outstanding co-op in his senior class. He taught at Norwood City Schools until his untimely death in March of 1999. He was a graduate of Xavier University, where he studied business. Gary was a devoted and knowledgeable teacher. His family and friends were donated funds in order to honor his life and the life of Gary Charlton. The Gary Charlton Memorial Scholarship recipient is Patrick Moore. Next, we have Marlene and Harry Walters Memorial Scholarship. Marlene Cole Walters graduated from Norwood High School in 1958 and married her husband Harry the same year. She and her husband Harry reared 4 children, who, along with several grandchildren, also graduated from Norwood High School. Marlene and Harry were kind and gentle people and were very active in the schools where their children attended. Marlene's family established a scholarship after her death in 1984 to continue the support for her great loves, children and music. When her husband Harry passed away, the scholarship was put in both their names. The Marlene and Harry Memorial Scholarship recipient is Megan Anderton. Megan plans to attend Ohio University majoring in business management. Next is the Silas Clifton Smith Memorial Scholarship. Cyrus Clifton Smith graduated from Norwood High School in 1961. His Memorial Scholarship honors family members who also graduated from Norwood. The Silas Clifton Smith Memorial Scholarship recipient is Allison West. Allison plans to attend Northern Kentucky University majoring in cellular and molecular genetics. The next scholarship is the William and Merle Ripberger Memorial Scholarship. William and Merle Ripberger Memorial Scholarship was established by their family and friends to honor the memory of 2 lifelong and lifetime Norwood educators. Both taught at Williams Avenue Elementary for several years, had 3 children, and also graduated from Norwood High School. As dedicated and beloved educators, the Ripbergers were pleased to know that their memorial scholarship helps Norwood students. The William and Merle Ripberger Memorial Scholarship recipient is Demaria Reed. Mary plans on attending UC Blue Ash, majoring in nursing. Presenting next is the scholarship from the Norwood High School teacher, Devin Lawley.
Good morning. This honor and this award is in honor of Jenny Huber. Jenny was a freshman at Norwood High School and a member of the girls' soccer team. She had already gone through tougher battles than most of us may face in our entire lives. Jenny had battled and defeated a rare form of liver cancer 2 times before she even entered high school. At the end of the soccer season of her freshman year, the cancer had returned and Jenny had entered the hospital for intensive chemotherapy. Sorry, I lost my place here. Jenny returned to school later in the year. She had all her schoolwork with her, which was impeccably done. She had incredible handwriting. She never once mentioned what was happening or used her condition as an excuse for anything. She was an incredibly strong and courageous girl. Later in the year, she was told the cancer had spread and was at stage 4, and Jenny returned to the hospital where she continued her fight. While she was at the hospital, she continued to turn in her homework. Every week I would get the homework back. It was always impeccably done. And then with about a month left in school, the homework stopped coming back, so I knew things must have gotten bad. At the end of her freshman year, she lost the battle, but left everyone who knew her with an incredible appreciation for life. She taught us all to be grateful for what we have and not to complain about some of the little things that most of us, myself included, like to complain about. She'll never be forgotten. I would like to thank the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation for everything they do, for keeping the memories of so many people like Jenny alive, because they are inspiring and they do remind us of what is important in this life, and also for what they do for the students of our school and the opportunities they provide. And kind of like what Mr. Gabbard said, for a relatively small community, it's truly amazing what you guys do, and I just want to say thank you. recipient of the Jenny Huber Memorial Scholarship is Maddie Van. Presenting next is Norwood High School teacher and trustee Don Deans.
Good morning. It's my great pleasure and privilege to present 5 scholarships this morning. The first is the Edward Adam Wilson and Alice Wilson Class of 1923 Scholarship. Mr. Wilson initially set up the scholarship to honor the class of 1923. Upon the deaths of both Edward and his wife Alice, the family added their names to the scholarship to honor the Wilson family, along with the class of 1923. This year's recipient is Sarah Godinez. As you've heard, Sarah plans to attend Mount St. Joseph, majoring in psychology. Next is the Virginia Todd Memorial Scholarship. Virginia Todd graduated in 1936 from my alma mater, Miami University, and also Columbia University. She taught at Sharpsburg for 34 years, retired in 1974, and died in 2007. She was a lifelong member of the Norwood Presbyterian Church, and in appreciation of the schools and communities, a generous donation was given by her to the Norwood Scholarship Foundation. This year's recipient is Caroline Moyers. Next is the Lawrence W. and Virginia McCormack Hill Memorial Scholarship. Virginia was a 1945 graduate in Norwood. She was 7th in her class. The Hills attended the Mount Washington Church of Christ. Virginia and her husband had never had children, but in their will they designated a portion of their estate should go to the Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation to support students in furthering their secondary education. This year's recipient is Brooke Thomas. St. Joe Major University. Next is the Anne Rodenberg Gilchrist Memorial Scholarship. She was a 1953 Norwood graduate and daughter of Dr. William Rodenberg. She attended the University of Kentucky, receiving a degree in library science. She married her high school sweetheart, Jim Gilchrist. Anne is remembered as a woman of integrity and character. Upon her death, her family honored her memory with a scholarship, and this year's recipient is Tyler Shorter. And next, the John C. and Betty Porter Memorial Scholarship. Mr. John Porter was a 1937 graduate of Norwood. He was a very special citizen of Norwood who dedicated himself to serving the community and the schools. He was chairman of the Board of Fidelity Federal Savings. He responded to the needs of Norwood, and for his service over the years, was recognized as the Chamber of Commerce Man of the Year. In his memory, Fidelity Federal established a scholarship in his honor. At the passing of his wife, Betty, a 1943 graduate, family and friends continued their contributions and added Betty's name to the scholarship. This year's recipient is Corey River. Presenting next will be Mr. Jerry Cox, alumnus and father of Abby Cox.
Good morning. I'm Jerry Cox, class of 1975. I have several classmates here today, evidently. It's our 40th year reunion. It reminds me that I'm getting older when I don't recognize anybody in front of me and everybody who's sitting behind me now. The Adam Cox Memorial Scholarship is an honor of my son. He was a early varsity starter in wrestling in 1999 salutatorian. He was team captain his senior year. Adam valued hard work, giving 100% of whatever he did. I want to thank Mr. Robish. They renamed the wrestling tournament funds for these scholarships. Adam is about 6'3", wrestled 140 pounds, really wasn't that heavy, but had a strong heart of a wrestler. He played trumpet and sang in the marching band, French horn in the orchestra. Adam attended Miami University in Ohio State and wanted to be an architect. Early in 2002, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. It was metastasized to his lungs, and he died in June of 2002. And this scholarship was to honor hard work and involvement. And this year's recipient of the Adam Cox Memorial Scholarship is Christian Peace. Christian plans to attend Northern Kentucky University and major in chemistry. And presenting next is Becky Schwarber Parsons, alumna and friend of Diane DeGarro-Cundiff.
I'm here to present the Diane DeGarro-Cundiff Memorial Scholarship. I have felt like a member of Diane's family for over 50 years. She and I met in first grade at Williams Avenue School. Soon after, I had moved to South Norwood. Diane's mother, Mrs. Rita DeGarro, would pick me up for Sunday school every week. She would give me a ride to school each day when the weather prohibited us from walking. Diane and I remained close throughout grade school and high school. Diane served on many committees, including yearbook staff, and was editor our senior year. She was a cheerleader all 4 years, a member of National Honor Society, homecoming queen our senior year, and salutatorian of the class of 1972. Even though our busy years in college, we remained best friends. We were in each other's weddings, marrying our Norwood High School sweethearts, and spent time together raising our families. Even though Diane had a very demanding career in the medical field, she always found time for her family and friends. She was a devoted mother, wife, daughter, and special pal to her Norwood classmates. I was very honored to be asked to present this award to a deserving Norwood graduate. I returned to Norwood after graduating from Miami University to become a teacher at Williams Avenue School for 33 years. Like Diane and her family, Norwood City Schools will always hold a very special place in my heart. The Diane DeGarro-Cundiff Memorial Scholarship recipient is Tracy Bordeminky. Tracy plans to attend Xavier University, majoring in nursing. Presenting next is Linda Arnest, alumna and sister of Paul Duff.
Good morning. Excuse me, I'm recovering from bronchitis. I'm Paul's sister, and my dad says it's important for me to also tell you that I am Director for Transfer Credit Evaluation at the University of Cincinnati. So I want to welcome all you incoming Bearcats to UC, that includes UC Blue Ash. And to you non-Bearcats, I want to say that down the road, excuse me, down the road, should you decide you want to transfer to one of the hottest colleges in America, and that's an official title, by the way, I can help you with that. So just keep that in mind, but I digress. My brother Paul was truly an exceptional person. He left Norwood and went on to graduate from the College Conservatory of Music at the University of Cincinnati. where he majored in composition and piano. And from there, he went on to a very successful 18-year career in the music industry in Los Angeles. He was a talented composer, songwriter, performer, and recording engineer. He was beloved by his family and a huge circle of friends. And he was also a gay man, and he found himself in the early days of the AIDS epidemic in the big city, discovering his sexuality. So when we lost him to the AIDS virus in 1996, this scholarship just seemed the perfect way to remember him. So it is my great pleasure today. I've been dealing with this for a couple of months now. My great pleasure today to present the Paul Delph Memorial Scholarship to Amira Bauer Hutzel. Our next presenter will be Misty Rowe, Secretary of the Athletic Boosters.
Good morning, guys. I recognize so many faces out here, and I can't say how proud I am of you guys. The Athletic Boosters' primary focus is to make sure that all of our athletes look good, feel good, and are safe on, off the field, and courts. And we fundraise all year long in order to provide the scholarship for you, sorry, not the scholarship, the equipment and means necessary for that. The male recipient of the Norwood Athletic Booster Scholarship recipient is David Highlands. David plans to attend Northern Kentucky University majoring in pre-physical therapy. The female Norwood Athletic Booster Scholarship recipient is Erin Harry. And Erin's family holds a near and dear spot in my heart because they have done so much for the boosters over the years, and they just continue to give back to Norwood in every way they can. So congratulations, Erin. And she plans to attend Bluffton University majoring in business administration and minoring in coaching. Presenting next is Norwood High School counselor Tom Mungeon.
The Hazel and Theodore Johnson Scholarship Foundation is awarded to a student or students who plan to attend the University of Cincinnati or one of its affiliate campuses, UC Blue Ash or UC Claremont. As an educator, Hazel Johnson felt that all students should have the opportunity to attend college to further their education. Each year, scholarships are awarded to students who fit the requirements set forth by Ms. Johnson prior to her death. The following recipients of the Hazel and Theodore Johnson Scholarship will be attending the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash campus. First recipient is Courtney Grubb. Courtney will be majoring in physical therapy and sports rehabilitation. The second recipient is Kennedy Lever. At this time, Kennedy is undecided with her major. The next presenter is Sharpsburg Elementary Dean of Students, Marshall Dykes.
PTA Scholarship this year to a student that I taught in the 5th grade. When I first met this student, I thought, as I'm sure many of you do, that this was an amazing young man. He worked hard in class, was very intelligent, artistically inclined, and had a smile that could brighten a dark room. I said to myself, I must be so lucky to have such an amazing student in my class this year. If only I would have known how wrong I was. Because you see, this student that you think is so kind and thoughtful and caring has a dark side. I first learned of his dark side at recess. I'm sure many of you have fond memories of recess when you're playing and your teachers actually played the games with you, and you said to yourselves, I must have such kind, caring teachers who actually play the games with us. Allow me to let you in a little secret. We don't play the games with you because we're kind or caring. We play because it makes us feel like superheroes. When you're 24 playing a game against a bunch of 10-year-olds, you are incredible at every sport. It is really an amazing confidence booster. On one particular afternoon, my students decided they wanted to play soccer, and I just smiled. Because I knew I was about to become one of the greatest soccer players ever to play the game. I was going to be Pele. A student passes me the ball, and I'm charging towards it on my way to wowing and amazing my students when suddenly this flash goes past me, and the ball is inexplicably gone. I look over my shoulder to see this student weaving through defenders with the skill and grace of a gazelle on the African savanna. I say to myself, buddy, this playground only has one Pele, and that's me. So I chase him down, and I'm just about to steal the ball from him to reclaim my athletic glory, when he does the most bizarre thing with his feet. The ball pops over his shoulder, he spins around me, and he's gone. I do my best to recover. I turn, I jump, I do something bizarre, and then it happened. This is literally what happened. I'm not making this up for dramatic effect. I literally came out of my shoes. Both of them. I'm laying on the ground shoeless while all of the 5th grade is laughing at me, most of them pointing. I look up just in time to see this kid shoot the ball into the corner of the net like it was the easiest thing he had ever done. He then jogs back at me, and with an enormous smile on his face, he says, maybe next time. So you see, this person who you thought for so long was kind and caring is not. I'll tell you this too, there were many more next times, and in none of them did I feel like Pele. After leaving elementary school, he continued to hone his extraordinary talents on the soccer field. This year he won the league championship, was voted the SBAAC Player of the Year, was first team All League, All City, All District, and All State. He is an enormously talented athlete. He is bright and diligent in his studies, an accomplished artist, and he is kind and caring to everyone he meets off of the soccer field. We all know that he has a bright future ahead of him, and it is a genuine honor to be able to give the Allison PTA Scholarship this year to Humberto Valdez. Presenting next is Norwood View Elementary Principal, Lynn Yates.
Norwood View. This is my third opportunity to present the Norwood View PTA Scholarship. Choosing a recipient gets more and more challenging as the quality of our candidates seems to increase with each passing year. To each of you applicants, you are all very worthy candidates who will no doubt be successful in your post-secondary educational pursuits as well as your chosen careers. And to each of you, the Norwood View family wishes you the best. While I never had the privilege of serving as the principal for this year's recipient, all of her former teachers speak highly of her as being a hard worker, a model student, and very popular among her classmates. Her favorite teacher, at Norwood U anyway, Miss Brockman, used these words to describe her. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water." Aspen reminds me of this statement. She is often quiet and shy, but when the time is right, she is that strong, independent young lady that we all love and respect. Aspen can light up a room with her contagious smile. I am honored to have had her in my class and to have been a small part of her life. This year's Norwood U PTA Scholarship recipient is Aspen Bryant. Aspen plans to attend the Avita Fredericks Institute. Now, once again, Principal of Williams Avenue, Trustee, and Norwood alumnus, Mark Gabbard.
The Williams Avenue Elementary PTA Scholarship Committee has a group of teachers that taught at Allison, that taught at several other schools. But at Williams Avenue Elementary, these teachers came together and they read over all of these essays and stories that these students had. Every one of them are most definitely qualified, but one stood out from the rest. I'm pleased to, the PTA committee wanted to say that they are pleased to offer the scholarship to a student that attended Williams. And again, several students were in this running. These are some of the words and characteristics that were described by some of the teachers to describe this student. They attended Williams from kindergarten through 6th grade, was a model student, hard worker, friend to everyone, and that one came up several times. Tremendous kindness. Remembered every single teacher that they had at Williams Avenue Elementary. And has continued to come back each and every year to assist her 1st grade teacher, Ms. Briscott. As a matter of fact, she was there yesterday. She'll be attending Wilmington College. She'll be playing soccer. Williams Avenue PTA is proud to give this scholarship to Sarah Sparks. Norwood High School Principal, Brad Wetterhoff.
It is certainly my pleasure as the former principal of Sharpsburg Elementary School to give this award out. It is probably one of the things that I have loved most about being back in high school is seeing the students that I knew in kindergarten and 1st grade that are now high school students. This particular student has 3 things that I remember most about him. The first was he was invited to be in a teacher's wedding. That doesn't happen very often, but he was a ring bearer, I believe, in 2nd grade in his teacher's wedding. The second thing I remember about him is he went on a long bike ride with his dad one year that everyone in the school knew about. And when he came back from his bike ride, he told it was great spending time with his dad, but the seat of the bike was a long, hundreds of miles. I can't remember how long it was, but too long for any young man in elementary school. And then my third memory when he was in high school, he had really long hair. When I first saw him coming in 9th grade, he wore this hair long for quite a while. This year, when I walked into school his senior year, I said, "Who is that? We got a new student back there?" And he had cut off all of his hair into a clean cut, looked like a different young man, but nonetheless, it was still Evan Parker, the recipient of the Sharpsburg. The Ivy Tech Community College in Bloomington, Indiana, where he will study radiology there. Our last presentation this morning is from the United States Army. I'd like to introduce Sergeant Hutchins and Sergeant Hack.
Norwood High School Scholarship Foundation and Norwood High School for allowing us to come out here and present the Army College Fund. The Army College Fund is presented to anyone who decides to step up and serve their country in the United States Army, be it active duty or Army Reserve. So we're here to present it to a young man who's decided to step up, take on the challenges, and become a soldier in the United States Army while continuing his education, Tyler Bohagen.
On behalf of the students and staff at Norwood High School, I would like to thank the Scholarship Foundation, as well as the local businesses, organizations, and families who have given their time and support this morning to the members of the class of 2015. With your generous financial help, our graduates will be taking a firm step in the right direction. Thank you so much. One more hand for our committee. This time, this concludes our program. However, seniors and all of you up here, if you would stay, and parents, if you would stay as well, there will be a luncheon in the library for you and your children. Everyone else may be dismissed. We will go back to the third bell.